Andrew was just another example of a modern young man who grows up without a father around in their most crucial years.
Fighting out of Luton, UK. Weighing in at 93 kilograms with a professional record of 85 fights, 74 wins and 9 losses. Andrew Tate!
The man best known for single-handedly breaking the internet. His outlandish rants and antics saw him become a hero to many, particularly a corner of YouTube known as the RP.
I asked this guy, we both know him, I go, do you like fat models? He goes, yeah, I love women.
Slave mine, fucking lie. The law is set up in the way in the Western world where men have absolutely zero power. Most men are clinically depressed, working jobs they hate, in sexless marriages, and they know they can't leave because they lose the house and they lose the kids and they lose everything else. So they don't have time to be concerned with anything that's actually happening in the world. They keep us divided and distracted. And empowering females is the easiest way to weaken the will of men. Motivating females and empowering them to the point where they're going to sit there and go, you know what? I'm a feminist. You can't tell me what to do. I'm allowed to go out with my friends. He's just my friend. I'm allowed to sleep at his house and drink vodka. Oh, I only sucked his dick. What's the problem? You know what? Fine, we get a divorce. I'm taking the fucking house. Yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andrew Tate's stunts also pissed off a lot of people, which led to him being banned from multiple social media platforms.
They banned me from Instagram.
Like, I don't like Andrew Tate, period.
But you just said
Choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
Bruh, don't tell me you're some Andrew Tate fan.
He said that.
Don't tell me you're some Andrew Tate fan.
He said
Fit Andrew Tate's any farther down your throat.
no. Why?
Oh, I'm sure you can. You should try it, bro.
Do you like Andrew Tate?
Nah, that man. You guys are all.
We do not like you at all. Obviously, you're a goof.
But this is neither here nor there. I'm here to delve into who exactly Andrew Tate is and whether he's a credible source of leadership for young men.
I am dual nationality. I'm both English and I'm American. My dad is American and my mum is British. My dad was based in the UK for the Air Force. He was actually in the intelligence services. He was a spy. So they taught him Russian and he was based in the UK where he met my mum. He's also one of the world's best chess players, top ranked chess players in the world. So he's a very, very smart guy. My mum and dad moved back to America, where me, my brother Tristan, and my sister Janine was born. And then they split up, and my mum moved back to England, and I came with her. And that changed my life quite a bit, because I'm named after my dad. Me and my dad have the same name. Andrew's actually my middle name. Emery Andrew Tate is my name. We have the same name, and when I was in America, my sole focus in life was chess. I used to play chess 3-4 hours a day. I was state chess champion at 5. I had a high rating and I used to compete with adults at the age of 8. I was very, very smart, very good. When I moved to England, I had no teacher anymore. So my chess game stopped and I moved into fighting. And here I am.
Given Andrew's background, he's clearly an intelligent guy, a man driven towards gaining fame, fortune, and power.
Whether people like it or not, wealth is a way to establish credibility. Like, there's a lot of people who dislike me and that's fine. But it's hard to deny that I am fiscally successful, at least. And that gives you a degree of credibility, which gives you some presence when you speak. It's hard to ignore a guy who you know has hundreds of millions of dollars.
From scoring knockouts, appearing on reality shows, to ultimately breaking the internet. It is pretty clear now that these were building blocks for Andrew towards what he thought would be the pinnacle of life. The first time I saw Andrew Tate was when he first appeared on Fresh and Fit After Hours with some girls. I found him to be very entertaining, oozing with charm and charisma, and often making fun of some of the low IQ guests on the show. It was a perfect source of entertainment at a time when we were all locked down.
If I park one of my 17 supercars outside a club, right? Let's say the Lambo's outside, and dudes are trying to break in. Even though I know the locks, the alarm, the immobilizer is solid, you can't steal a Lambo. Dudes are trying to break in, and I see it. Am I going to allow them to try? No. So he just called you a human ashtray. You got something to say about that? What you should do is you should repent.
Repent against what?
Just
I like
repent.
my
Just
sins.
say, you know what? If that's what the public think of me, then I am sorry for everything I've
I'm not
ever
sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry, whore. I don't care.
done. Okay, so Jesus, you have more work to do.
You know what? So many women say to me, "You're so Andrew. You know what? You're so rich, but you're smart and you're actually very intelligent. And I know you'd get really bored of a robot." And I'm sitting there thinking, "Bitch, I wish to God you were a robot." She's done with. Done. I took your prized possession. She's messed up. Whichever Spanish man gets with her next, he'll be like, "Why is she always starting arguments with me? Why is she never happy?" Because she's dreaming of the night she had with me. She's unhappy with you and you'll never be able to please her. She's widowed forever. It's done. Fuck you, Spain. That's what you have to tell me to put a fucking mask on. I might have gone easy on her pussy if it wasn't for that little fucking Pedro motherfucker.
And also, too,
But I never in a million years thought that this guy was becoming an idol for so many. After all, the stuff he was saying wasn't anything new. It was stuff that had been regurgitated throughout the RP space. But it was a perfect storm. Young and old men from across the world were tuning in. Mostly young men who felt disenfranchised were clearly looking for a hero. With Andrew's charisma and background in kickboxing, it was like something out of a comic book. I think even Andrew was surprised by how much love he was getting. And like any money-driven person, he capitalized on
Tell
this.
people, don't go to university. You haven't got that time to waste. They say to me, well, what do I do instead? And this is the answer. What you do instead is join my university program. I'm going to teach you everything from start to finish. Everything I've ever learned about business. I've run so many companies, from making money as a professional fighter is running a company. Webcam girls is running a company. Selling clothing, professional sales and other jobs, television advertising, you name it. I've made money that way. And there are some business secrets which are universal across every single method. I have 100 business tips I'm going to teach you, which will allow you to make your own money instantly. Forget studying.
What is the class? The Hustlers University? What is that? What are they teaching people?
To hustle.
But what do they teach? Are they?
I don't know. To hustle.
They can quit at any time they want.
It's like $70 a month, and you become a top G.
Come on, listen.
Offering Hustlers University courses, documenting his adventures with his brothers and friends, animated rants about the Matrix, he was the hottest selling ticket in town, featuring in each and any podcast that would have him. Whether or not people actually benefited from what Andrew was offering, we're yet to see. Certainly, given how things have turned out for Andrew, it turns out he didn't have it all figured out.
You are okay?
Free man. Built different.
Yes?
Built differently. Of course. Better than okay. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to that judge who saw through the and let us free. Hey, I'm not a human trafficker, clearly. If you human traffic someone, there is evidence. This is a setup. It's a stitch up. The 3 prosecutors at D-Call in my house, I said, why are you here? There's no case. They said, there's a case if we make one.
In conclusion, Andrew Tate was just an intelligent and driven man who saw an opportunity present itself and he took it with both hands. Was he charismatic and entertaining? Absolutely. Did he find creative ways to gain success? Absolutely. But was he ever a leader for the disenfranchised? Highly questionable. He had no answers for them. Telling them to get money in the hopes of one day owning a Bugatti and bedding multiple women is not the answer.
Pretty correct.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I would say that a lot of his prescriptions are completely wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So he will say men have lost their role in the world, and then what he will model is cam girls. It's like, well, that's not actually the solution. But what you're saying about the problem of men losing their role and men needing to be masculine and men needing to want to win and men needing to cultivate an ability to go out and succeed and thrive in the world. All of that is 100% true. I just think that he himself on a personal level wasn't providing a model of that. To me, a model of that is a guy who is married, who has kids, who lives in the community, who betters the community he lives in, who hires people, who creates a business. Like, these are the things that, historically speaking, did define manhood. And now they no longer define manhood, and men are left.
Deeper than this, Andrew was just another example of a modern young man who grows up without a father around in their most crucial years, and they have to explore and find out what being a man is about themselves. As Andrew mentioned, when he moved away from his father, chess went out the window and he ended up becoming a kickboxer. The way things worked out shows that he wasn't at least 2 moves ahead like a chess player would be. When you listen to some of his rants, he almost sounds possessed by fame, saying anything and everything that will get him attention, which shows very little thought. I don't think he had assessed the consequences of his fame and what was to come next. People seem too obsessed with him to even dig deeper, but it also shows us what sort of times we're living in. A time of desperation. Creators want to stay competitive, so they'll do anything to catch a hot ticket. There is not much critical thinking. On every podcast Andrew was on, they were showering him with praises instead of asking the tough questions. What's the plan, Andrew? How are you going to lead us to the promised land? Ultimately, Andrew's story is much like a modern-day Scarface story. Many can take inspiration, but ultimately, much like the Scarface story, you realize that there's much more to life than being a playboy with money and power.
I'm intelligent enough to understand that if you want to learn something, you have to shut your mouth. You know, it's very easy to talk and constantly, you know, get attention and talk. You don't learn anything that way. You learn a lot more by being quiet, listening to what other people say, listening to who they look at while they talk. If they interrupt a certain person all the time, look at if one person walks, who follows them. You know, this is how you learn.